Wilson?
Wilson.
Okay, pleasure to meet you, Jeff.
You're sitting in, Jeff.
All right, well, hey. Good. And
Joseph.
Joseph, okay, great.
Oh, all right, we're all just meeting each other.
That's right.
I was looking in, I was like, wow, this is different.
All right, Liz, are we ready to get this meeting rolling?
Give us 1 second. Molly's just fixing some things on her end.
Okay.
The live stream.
Are you at Clemson or NC State?
I think both of my boys want to go to school. One's at NC State, I think they graduated, the other one wants to go there, so.
Nice. Your money goes to state, but your heart goes to Clemson. Two very good schools.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, you are good to take the meeting away.
All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. And the first item of business is a roll call. We also have two.
Hold on, Kevin, 1 second. Hey, Molly, is there a way to make the volume louder back there?
This year? Okay.
Sorry, I've been slashing on my job here.
Yes.
Let me get one of these. Wilson sent out, brought some information for you all, but this is the agenda, the report out, and then Jeff, I apologize, I didn't give you this. This is the agenda, the report out,
awesome,
and the
thank you.
annual report.
Yeah, no problem.
Some of that I emailed you.
You emailed all to me. I read through it.
Yeah, but just so you have hard copies.
That's awesome, thank you.
I'm working on it. You can. Okay, then give us 1 second, Kevin.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks y'all for your patience. We're working through some technical difficulties. We've got some people who are traveling or under the weather today, so they're keeping their germs to themselves.
That's super nice.
We appreciate.
I brought mine here, so.
Sorry.
Just let y'all know, Allison is under the one of those folks under the weather today, so she is gonna be she's here, she's listening in, but she's not gonna likely be participating.
Something to share.
And it sounds like it's gonna be a second. Do you want to come down here closer to the speaker? That might be it. Might be our quicker fix at the moment.
Okay, cool. All right, well, so hot, good job.
Yeah.
All right, you checked out that new place they put in, Beacon Hill? No, not open, but largely destroyed.
I just, you know, sure.
Okay, all right.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
I'm very proud on the edge.
Yeah, I do too. I think
Still
that's a nice decision.
There's some more stuff happening. We're getting.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
No more one-stop shop Ingalls, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right, Kevin, I think we're good.
All right, excellent. I'm going to go a little bit out of order here because we have two new members today. But we're going to go through and do a roll call. I want to point out that Jeff Fody and Emily Trorisi, sorry if I mispronounced those, are new. And since we have new members here today, we'll do a roll call and just give a little bit of information about yourself to familiarize everyone with each other. I'll start online and then allow the room to go. I'm Kevin Conricode. I'm the chair of this board, and I serve in a civilian capacity. I spend most of my time riding bikes, so I really enjoy visiting parks and greenways. And I'll pass it off to Jen Cook.
And I'm Jen Cook. I am in County Commissioner District 1, and this is my first year serving on the board.
All right, would the room like to take it away?
Sure, I can start this end. My name's Liz. I'm the Recreation Division Manager. I've been here about 1.5 years. And I work with Adam and then Kevin to set up the meetings.
Joseph Gooseman, I'm the new Parks Division Manager. I was the project manager before, so shifting in the end of December into this new role. So we'll probably talk about a little bit of that later, but yeah, I've been here 3 years in total, so.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Christina DePush. I live in District 3 according to the County Commissioner map in the Reynolds area. And I'm a walker and I walk everywhere I possibly can. And so I'm very excited to be part of this advisory board.
So, hello, everyone. I'm Ingrid Johnson. I forget the district that I'm in the Emma Irwin neighborhood, representing Porter Emma organization, and excited to be on this board, excited to meet new folks and to see how the parks develop. But I also feel like I bring from our neighborhood just a way that parks have the potential to proceed gentrification. So that's the lens that I bring. There's some curiosity.
I'm Ann Babcock, and I am in District 3, and I am vice chair. And I'm also especially interested in the greenway aspects of parks and recreation.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Emily Troisi. I'm in District 2. This is my first meeting. My day job, I work in wildfire, but I also do a lot of volunteering in parks, like through like mountain tours and stuff. So just love being outside. I'm a climber, love to hike, and I'm just excited to be here and contribute.
Cool. I think I'm probably in District 2 too, but I have no clue.
Correct.
But my name is Jeff Cody. I enjoy hiking, biking, running, foraging, getting outside. I do a lot of work with Pittsburgh Sorba and Carolina Mountain Club, doing trail maintenance and but mostly legal. But yeah, great stuff, getting some of that stuff cleared out there. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. I love what you guys have done with like the Swannanoa stuff and yeah, and man, there's lots of stuff going on. We're exploring like new opportunities at Shope with the Appalachian Ranger District, and it's just great to have this huge level of visibility across all these different happenings going on and how that might stitch together and really provide a framework to grow on. So awesome, excited to be here.
I'm sitting in today, Wilson Sims from Woodfin. Got 2 greenways, Beaver Dam Creek Greenway and the French Broad River Greenway. Been part of those for decades and delighted with what you're doing and appreciate the opportunity to be here to meet you guys. Thank you.
Adam?
Hello, everyone. I'm Adam Zinke. I'm this department's office administrator. I help out with organizing the meetings and the like. And take notes.
Awesome. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you very much. It's good to meet everybody. It's good to have new faces and the energy that comes along with it. I would like to make a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes, if I can get a second on that.
Oh, second.
All right, all in favor of approving those minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Meeting minutes approved. And I'm going to make a motion to approve today's agenda. Could I get a second on that?
I'll second.
Christina, second.
All right. All in favor of continuing with today's meeting? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, let's move forward then. The first item we have is public comment, and we have, see if I can pull up my notes. Wilson Sims listed several questions in an email. Do we want to roll forward with that, Liz? If you can bring it up on
Yeah,
the
we can.
screen.
Typically it's 3 minutes per person, but just to give you a heads up. All right, but yeah, it's your floor, Wilson.
Good, thanks. I'll keep this short. Thank you, advisory board and staff. Y'all are very great host. Feels really special to be here today. Y'all make it special. Means a lot. I believe everyone has a handout at some point. I've left for you. Just a couple of things. These are questions I've been asking for a while. And I realize there's been a lot going on here post Helene. So very patient. We just want to get these questions addressed on the table and addressed in time when there's ample ability to do so. The first one is about the bond referendum in 2017. Just wanting to see if that can be a report on how those monies have been used. There's been no report that I've seen over 9 years. So it'd be wonderful if we could have a report on the bond referendum. The agreement in 2017, there's absolutely no expectations or deliverables listed from either parties, which is amazing. Shannon wants to see it redone, and we'd love to see that with more accountability of what each party's doing. Number 3, I don't think there's ever been a report to the Woodfin Commissioners, Town Council, in the 9 years. And I'm not on the Town Council, but I'm just saying, boy, it sure would be nice if they could hear from the folks who are building the greenways. Maybe, whatever, once a year or something like that. What's going on? But there's never been anyone come and speak to the Town Council or the citizens about the 2 greenways that Buncombe County is building on behalf of Woodfin. And the next one is an advisory board member from Woodfin. There's never been any representative. We've got 2 greenways, no representation. And the number 5 is about the communications, transparency, and updates. When you go to the Wood website, it's just not there. The content one would expect, best business practices and transparency, goals and achievements. So, and then number 6 is just including the power of private philanthropy in the funding equation, like other private public projects do. I don't see private philanthropy. It could be huge with the greenways. That's part of it. So those are the questions. I'd love to get those answered sometime. Have an official answer. Meantime, I'll keep I'll be here and keep pressing these forward. You to know me well.
Can I ask you a question? Has Woodfin ever asked anybody to come from
Great question.
Parks and Recreation or any other staff person to come and talk about the Greenway project?
I doubt it. I think they're so pleased that somebody's doing it on their behalf that they don't want to. They just say thank you.
Are the
But I shouldn't be speaking for them.
It seems like that would be a good first step for getting the information out there.
Sounds great. Yeah. Are you asking me to do something?
Maybe.
Maybe should I ask like Philip Cohen or Shannon to see if someone would like to come and speak?
So I think, so during public comment, we won't necessarily, we say, thank you for your comments and we'll follow up with you, Wilson. But that is something that we can look into and follow up with you on.
Wonderful.
Yeah. One more quick question. Is the information put out by Buncombe County around the greenway sufficient to answer a lot of your questions? Are you just looking, okay, so it's not detailed enough and specific enough to address it just in general? Okay, that's it. All right, good, thanks.
All right, thank you for your comments, Wilson. And staff will follow up on these questions. And a few of the items I noticed, we may not address in every one of these meetings, the progress on independent projects. However, these are some things that are presented in these meetings, as new information is available. In a personal bent of mine, is I would like to see the Buncombe County website have a little bit more navigable information for public resource. And recently there's been a change that allows a more streamlined update of that information. So I do imagine good things coming from that in the future. But other than that, we really appreciate all of your comments, and a few of these items I will be bringing up later in this meeting as it pertains to some of our presentations. So thank you. The next on the agenda is the Parks and Rec report out put together by Allison Daines that was emailed out last week. Allison, do you want to comment on any of that, or do you just want to open the floor to discussion?
I'll go ahead and make a comment. Allison's gonna save her voice, I think.
Okay.
So just so folks are aware, who may be new to this meeting, historically, we spent a good portion of the meeting doing a report out at the beginning, and then that didn't leave a lot of time for discussion or action at the end. And so what we've moved towards is sending out a report out prior to the meeting with the agenda, so you have the background information. And then the hope is that you all, if you have questions on anything in the report out, would bring it to this part of the meeting. I do want to highlight a few things from this week's report out. First, I want to congratulate Joseph. Joseph is our new Parks Division Planner, and being promoted from our project manager position. And did ask about this position. This was previously the planner position that was restructured into the Parks Division Manager to better serve our needs at this time. And so the project manager job description is now being updated to become a new position, and hopefully that will be posted soon. Again, we're in the midst of fiscal year 27 budget. And so that is something that the staff are currently working on for the end of the month. I provided a lot of information about events and programming that are upcoming into fiscal year 26, into calendar year 26. We did raise over $14,000 for Special Olympics through the Festival of Lights, including it had about 21,000 attendees. So my other plug in there is we're doing a polar plunge for Special Olympics in February. You can raise money, jump into the Southside Grant Pool, and support a great cause. And then Joseph has been extremely busy on the park side of things. Turf construction has started. They're moving right along. We have a number of plans in design and soon to be public engagement. So if you're not on our newsletter, please make sure you're signed up for that. A lot of that information also went out. And so any questions on anything from the report out or that wasn't included? We had a little delay. Go ahead, Ann.
I was asking Joseph about a greenway, specifically related to greenway planner. And he said that the county commissioners and staff were debating whether to have one. And I mean, we had a great one, and he left and did a great job. Is this something we could talk to commissioners about? I mean, I think it's really, really important to have a greenway planner that's specifically devoted to greenway planning.
Yeah,
Because
and
it's so important.
no, I think you misunderstood what I was saying. There's gonna be, right now it's housed in planning, but it's also with us. So what they're trying to determine, Allison and the director of planning, is what needs to be set. We understand, like I was saying, construction, we probably are gonna hold on to that. But then also, how can we work together? We're not eliminating anything that Thomas did before. It's just figuring out how best to advertise the position. Like it says in the report out, we're rethinking the project manager position. So at this time, I don't think anything is needed from commissioners because we are gonna rehire that project manager position.
Okay.
But that's kind of what I was saying before is how we shift that position to be more of the needs we need, like you're speaking to. Everybody's on some, I mean, the commissioners are very in supportive of the Greenway projects. So I don't think that is needed at this time. It's really just a conversation of HR, the directors, and then also county management.
So are you saying then that this person that gets hired will not only be a Greenway planner, but also planning for other things? So it wouldn't be dedicated just to Greenway.
And Thomas wasn't just he wasn't just a Greenway planner. Thomas was a landscape architect.
Right.
So Thomas would help with the projects that I would take into construction. He would be heavy on the design, meeting with these different architects, engineers. And then when they moved closer to construction, that's kind of when I take on the baton and run with it from that point. That was how we were doing things before Thomas. Now we're trying to figure out how to make that relationship work with Greenways and everything else.
Okay.
I think Thomas was very heavy on the Greenways,
Yeah.
which made it seem like he was a Greenway planner, but he was a principal planner. So he was also running with the master plan. And that's something I'm also taking on now as park division manager is the master plan in those kind of larger scale projects as well. So nothing's being lost.
Okay.
It's just being shifted, yes. So we will still have a very heavy involvement with Greenways.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So you're kind of taking a lot of Thomas's role. So that
Yeah.
role is not going to be replaced. You're taking it and then your
Yes.
previous role is going to be replaced.
Yes, but the project manager idea will be shifted a little bit to help cover in those areas.
Right, okay, got it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so the
So-
scope of the job will just. be
Yes.
more- Okay, cool.
We're not losing anything that we had from
Mhm.
Thomas before, but I am not a landscape architect, so that's the biggest difference.
And I have a question, and I know, apologize if, because I missed last meeting, but more specific updates about the Beaver View Mountain Park, like is purchase inevitable and, or like just kind of if there's any updates on that project?
Yeah, so we're getting very close. We also presented the budget at the budget retreat. I presented that to the commissioners. They are in full support.
Okay.
And we're getting ready in early 2026 to start working forward on this project. We have put positions in the idea that we will be getting this property, and we're also doing already early on budget planning in this 2027 budget to obtain team review. So I can't speak to
Yeah.
a date that we're gonna buy the property,
Yeah.
but it's moving in the right direction.
And the money is all there.
Yeah, I think that was.
Yes. It
Yeah.
should be sometime in by mid this year.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it's
Go
exciting.
team go, that's a
Yeah,
big one.
it's gonna be a big one. So,
And that's been powered by private philanthropy.
yeah, so Appalachian Highlands. is
They've been doing a lot.
Yeah, they, I mean, I bought a house in Richmond Hill and they helped conserve all that land behind there too.
Wow.
They're a great organization.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's gonna be an awesome addition. Really looking forward to that. So, yeah.
Any other questions on the report out?
I do want to add that Owen Park is also moving along at a very good rate with a kickoff meeting at the end of this month with the design team. Their survey is almost completed already. And if you know anything about any project, survey is the first big step. So especially with the landscape change. And then also, I just brought this to share, but another exciting project moving forward is the ADA playground. And I'll pass these around at the end to see kind of very early on ideas that we're
Where?
walking through.
Is that?
The ADA playground at the Buncombe County Sports Park.
Oh, right.
And we're looking at doing a kind of wood structure. Nothing's been approved yet because we're in contract negotiations, but just kind of very high level ideas we're looking at. So.
Well, thank you, everybody. And as always, it's very impressive what we get done with the limited resources we have in the Parks and Rec department. So thank you to everyone involved. Our next item on the agenda is the marketing and branding with Molly Wilson.
We'll move over here for now and hope the live stream continues.
Can you,
I moved you a co-host. It's weird.
technology.
Little technical difficulty on our end will be, okay, try it again, Liz.
See if Liz has. the
There we
power.
go. There we go.
Back.
Okay, while she's pulling that up, you guys have seen me sitting hovering in the back of your meetings for a while. But my name is Molly Wilson. I'm an information and communications specialist with Buncombe County. Wanted to kind of introduce myself because part of what y'all set for yourselves as a board was on kind of the marketing side of what we do. And so I wanted to explain who I am, kind of introduce myself and show you a little bit about how it currently works and the ways that y'all can contribute to what we do. So I am not a Parks employee. I work for Buncombe County's communications department. And Parks is one of my accounts. So I also work a fair amount with HHS, and a lot of theirs I work with Justice Services, I work with Soil and Water. So I have a large number of other departments who I do communications for. Parks is my big one. So I spend a lot of time with Liz, I bother her all the time. And I am the one who creates all the marketing materials for Parks. I run our social media, I run our website. And kind of do all those pieces of it. Do you mind if I just kind of, yeah, where we go?
Yeah.
Okay, so wanted to walk y'all through really quickly a few of the things about kind of what contributes to the marketing with Parks. We do have a branding guide that I created when I came on about a year ago that lays out the fonts, the colors, the tone, the brand, the mission, kind of everything that contributes to what our branding needs to look like when it goes out. Parks gets to be a little squishier than other Buncombe County brands because we are more fun. So we get to be a little more playful with kind of the tone that we use on social media and press releases, a little squishier with some of the branding too, which is nice with like Buncombe County government is very specific colors, fonts, and everything. We get to have a little more fun with it. We also have the Buncombe County Style Guide, which I also wrote, which is establishing the rules for language. We use a modified AP style for most everything. So a little bit about our process. It will start with me either meeting with Liz. We have a weekly meeting where we discuss kind of everything that's going on with Parks, what's going to be coming up soon that we can like go ahead and share out. Some of it will just be things I've identified through our editorial calendar to start making materials for. And we kind of put relevant news on calendars and schedules as early as possible. And then we decide from that what elements and channels are most useful, what will be needed, what we can share in the timeline that we have. Because like I said, Parks is not my only account, so I do have to balance that with like the other work I'm working in the time frame of. So what we kind of have the capacity for. And then I create the assets. So I do all the design work, all the writing work, everything for that. And that can be time consuming depending on what it is. As we'll talk about, that's a lot of different options. So that could be physical flyers, it could be signage, it is sometimes. That could be social media, which can be pretty quick. I had to do a billboard for the first time for Festival of Lights, so that was fun and new. So that kind of depends on what those assets are, the timeline for that. And depending on what it is too, I'll send it to the team for approval. So that's usually Liz and Matt in programming, and just have them take a look and make sure all the details are correct. It kind of aligns with what they're looking for. And then we publish, schedule, post, whatever it happens to be for the assets. And these are just some. There's a flyer over there. That's a reel that I posted yesterday yesterday. That's the billboard for Festival of Lights. So we have a bunch of different channels that we can use to promote what Parks does. So we have physical assets. These are really great for events, for programming. We have a big flyer that goes out with like a spring and summer schedule and a fall schedule as soon as those are released. And those go up at all the parks where we have space for them. They're also handed out sometimes depending on the situation. We also have calendars. So our website has a calendar that all of the parks events go on, and that feeds into the parks homepage, the department's homepage. Also social media calendars, Facebook. I'll put our events on third-party calendars as well that don't require like you to pay for them. So when you can just submit a calendar event, I'll put them on there as well so they appear on those. Press releases and news articles. So this is a big one for bigger news, for bigger events. I will write a press release that gets sent out to our media contacts, and it will go on the website newsfeed as well. So some of the things that are smaller that won't necessarily go out to press contacts will still get posted as articles on our website. The website is a big part of it too. That's kind of contained in a lot of this. And as I was talking to Wilson before the meeting started, Buncombe County just got a new website. And that has been a super fun ride. Because it is a brand new CMS, content management system for all of us. It is a new URL, which we had to change over. We got a .gov, which was really important for us to change to for security and legitimacy. But we are working through getting all of that updated. Luckily, it is something that is easier for us to update than it was before, because now I can go in and I can make changes to the website myself, or Liz can too, actually now, because she got trained.
I did the training.
And, but it is complicated process. So we are absolutely working through like updating a lot of that information. We shared new Greenways information a few months back, like pretty much as soon as the website switched over and I had access, we shared new information on the Greenways page. But we'll get to that in a minute. Feedback about the website is really helpful to me because it is a quick update. It is something that we can switch over fairly quickly. Sometimes that does require us to get more information. It's not always, since I don't work for parks, sometimes it's channels I'm having to get details through. But outdated information on the website, or even just pieces you say, hey, I think we could have more detail. We've heard more detail about this. Is this something we can share on the website is really helpful to me. We have really active social media pages. We have Facebook and Instagram. And then we'll get to analytics in a minute. But I post on those multiple times a week. It's usually 3 or 4, sometimes more times a week. And we have decent engagement on there. We also have our newsletter, which we'll get to analytics on that in a minute too. But this is sent out monthly, usually in the first week of the month. And it has events, it has news. This last one had a letter from Allison starting off the new year. So a lot of just kind of more deep dive parks information. So let's talk some quick analytics. Instagram, we have just over 4,000 followers. In the last 30 days, that's 80 new followers and just under 18,000 views. Facebook, a little bit more, fewer new followers, about the same views. And our newsletter has just under 8,000 subscribers and a 30 to 33% average open rate. I used to work for AVL Today, which is a local media company that does a daily newsletter. And that's a pretty decent open rate. Newsletters, especially email newsletters, tend to be very low performing. So that's a pretty good open rate for that. We've had some good engagement on social media lately because we just started a new series last week
doing tours of each park to kind of tell people what's there, what it looks like. I had to get in front of the camera and I dragged my dog with me because people love dogs. And so I went out and I filmed these tours, and I will be continuing to do so. But those have gotten some really good engagement on both Facebook and Instagram.
What's the population of the county?
Oh, great question.
270-ish thousand.
Yeah,
So,
270. Yep.
So how would people know to go to those videos if they didn't get the newsletter? Would they know that in some way? Did you publicize that, advertise that? Come to
The
this site?
social media.
Yeah,
So our social media is linked on our website.
okay.
And we do in the newsletter as well share that it's gonna be there. We have a lot of really engaged followers on social media.
Okay.
We do also in several places and like flyers and stuff that we've shared too, like our social media will be included, like follow us on Instagram and Facebook, so that people are sent there also. Okay. Okay, so couple things that we have to consider. Social media is hard. Social media, there is a lot out there, and it is very difficult to get in front of people's eyes. It helps a lot to just have organic engagement happen. Our views to like ratio is pretty good for organic content, but pretty good is 3%. It is weirdly low for how many people view it versus the people that comment or like it. And we hover around 4 or 5% of our followers typically. Promoted web content is a way to get it in front of more people. And we did this a lot for Festival of Lights, because we did partially have the budget for it. We had marketing dollars for it. Promoted content only works for certain things. It is a slightly different format, and people see that it's an ad. It's not just gonna pop up. They're gonna say, hey, this is an ad, this is sponsored. And for some things, that just doesn't make sense. We also have to consider that more direct marketing versus our kind of organic channels cost money. We have to have a budget for that, and we do. We just have to be strategic with what we're using that for, especially with printed assets. Those can add up quickly, like signage and that sort of thing. So since what y'all had talked about a little bit was wanting to contribute in some way to marketing for parks, wanted to talk a little bit about the ways you guys can help. So because of how our timeline works for this and the process works for it, it's a bit difficult to give direct feedback on assets before they go out. We are usually quite quick turn with those. We need to get that out and get that rolling, get things printed, get them posted. However, first off, make sure you're following our social media. Make sure you guys interact with the posts. Don't just look at them, like them, comment on them. I love seeing nice comments. It's a nice change for social media. So say we love our parks, whatever you want to say. So make sure you're following. We are on Facebook and Instagram are our two social medias. Make sure you're following us there. Subscribe to the newsletter. You can do that through the website. It's also linked on all of our social media. You can subscribe through there too. Then open it when you get it and click on something. That's super helpful. Anything, doesn't matter what it is, just click on it. And then spread the word. You guys are out in the community. You are members of our community. I am annoying with all of my friends about following Buncombe County Parks and Rec. And I post it to my story and say, hey, please go like this video right now. And they do, and it gets our engagement up. So make sure you're telling people how they can subscribe, where they can follow us, how they can learn more. Social media, especially for us, is an easy, inexpensive way to get it in front of a lot of people's eyes. And then when you are following us and you're looking at this content and you're seeing flyers in our parks, these meetings are a good place to provide feedback on things you really liked. you saw something that it worked really well, you thought it looked cool, worked great with the branding, super visible, whatever it happens to be, and things you thought didn't land. That, hey, I think that this could have been conveyed in a different way for whatever reason. That is super helpful for me. It's going to be on a much, broader scale than the kind of minutia of specific assets. But it's something I can take those recommendations into consideration when I'm making future assets. Share ideas, especially since we're trying to get into more evergreen content, scheduling that out, especially now during the winter. If you have fun ideas that you think might work for social media, I may have to tell you that that's not going to work, but I would love to hear it regardless. And then let me know if you want to be in content. If you want to be in a video, if you want to join me and Reg on a walk, I don't know. That's my dog. But in the videos. If you want to talk about the advisory board and you want to tell people what you do, I can sit down with you and we can do a quick video or we can take some pictures. If that's something that you guys are willing to do and interested in doing, let me know. I would love to plan some content around that. Okay. Yeah, that was talk really fast. So any questions for me? Ooh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
And I apologize if these are obvious. This is my first meeting.
No, please.
So I'm curious how proactively you outreach to community groups. So I live in Swannanoa and we have like our Growmont, Friends of Growmont Park, and they send out a monthly newsletter. So how often in your flow are you doing direct outreach to community groups to help push some of the?
So they are part of our press contacts that they do get press releases. We make sure those go to all community groups as well. If it's in a certain area, we often will send them the flyer, like a PDF too, that, hey, can you print this, put this up? We have partnered with like Friends of Growmont and everything like that on specific events too. But we try and make sure they're up in community spaces. Yeah, but if there are any like specific community groups, that's a super useful thing for me to know just for engagement, like to make sure that they're on contact lists and stuff.
Cool. And then my second question is, at what point are accessibility considerations kind of brought into the mix? So like for some of these events that are coming up, can people request ASL or other language interpretation? Do you ever create materials in Spanish or other languages? How does that come up?
Yeah, so this actually was a huge part of our discussion in my Cape meeting before this. Because we are going to have to, there are new ADA compliance laws coming into effect April 26th that we have to be compliant on. It's a lot of digital material that's coming up, but for most everything we share widely, we translate it at least into Spanish. It's often Russian and Ukrainian as well. So for like the Parks Master Plan survey, all of the materials, the printed surveys, the flyers, everything, they were in all 4 languages available. It will be the same thing with any outreach for Parks Master Plan moving forward. Everything will be available in multiple languages. As far as programming specific, I'd have to defer to Liz about like ASL on site. But language wise, we do translate materials.
Yeah, we haven't had any requests for ASL or language on site at programs and events. We do have a countywide ASL language opportunities if needed. I will say that our Parks Recreation events are some of the most diverse events I go to in terms of language being spoken. I think I counted 4 to 5 at our winter warm up last March. So I think it's definitely something to see how we can continue to do better. But yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're walking through parks and doing commentary and filming it. I think that's a great idea. And I may have missed this in your comments, but where can we see that?
So those are posted to both Instagram and Facebook. I'm also trying to figure out how to embed them easily on the website. We're gonna see how that works out. This is not the best format for it. We might just have to link out to them. But because I would love to include those videos, we have like facility listings for all the parks on the website. So I would love for that video to like be there so people can see it. But those are shared through our social media.
Thank you.
One other thing that I was thinking about, one of the goals for this, the master plan, I think, was something about increasing participation. And I'm curious, has there ever been a survey of like barriers to access for the park? Because one of the things I'm curious about is in some of the content, you know, like for folks that want to know what transportation to the parks might be a barrier, but like maybe you could do a video on bus routes that take you near the park or things like that. So that's just a question, if you thought about barriers and how to maybe speak to some of those things that would increase visitation.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'd have to defer to Parks on whether that has been done, but I love that video.
I'm not sure that, I don't think that's been done in the past, but I do like the bus route idea as well. I think that's great. I know that a big part of the Swannanoa small area plan and the current plans is the sidewalks and where those places go and the connectivity. And so with our master plan, we'll also be having, and that's a part of the master plan as well, like the system-wide master plan that is currently in the works on our side of things for open spaces, greenways, trails, and the system-wide plan. So that is a big piece of it, especially when we can show you some maps, but there, you know, especially when you look at certain areas that are not accessible, particularly in the outer reaches of the county. Places like Barnardsville, Broad River come to mind, where there might not be like park accessible for several miles. But you're also in a rural area where there may not be buses and that. So I think it's a great question. And a great suggestion as well.
So, but you, at the parks, you post like QR codes that link to social media,
So we don't, that has been a suggestion. That is, more of a budget constraint because signage is expensive to, especially out in parks. Signs, are expensive because they have to be certain materials to be, to last out in the wind and rain. But that's definitely something we're considering and we'll think about for like materials for this budget year.
and that like a sticker that affixes to existing signage that will, you know, mitigate some of the costs.
We can definitely look into that. I will say we've adjusted our budget for fiscal year 27 to put more money towards signage. One of the pieces of feedback we had in a meeting or two ago is, I think from Leslie, she was at the Honey Creek River Park and did not know that was a Buncombe County park. So that's also another part of it is for actual branding ourselves and people understanding what's Buncombe County. City of Asheville is also has a large parks and recreation presence. And so, involved with them or involved with us, it's great. We also want to identify who we are. So people know who their county parks are.
Do you guys cross post at all?
I've tagged them before. They've never shared me. It's okay.
Collaborate on the same event.
Yeah, but I do know Chris who runs communications for Parks City of Asheville. So yeah, they help us out with stuff.
And it looks like you want to say something. No? Okay.
Not now.
Just have that look.
Any other questions?
Do we know, since you came from ADL, do we know what most Buncombe County citizens look at the most as far as social media?
That varies widely by demographic. We have both accounts because Instagram tends to be younger viewers, and Facebook tends to be an older demographic. But we get excellent engagement in both places, which is why everything will be shared on both accounts every time it's shared. But Asheville is pretty active on social media in general, in Buncombe County in general, yeah.
So when you look at metrics and the analytics, those numbers are probably more additive than overlap, which is cool.
Say that again, sir.
When you look at the analytics, those numbers from Instagram and Facebook are probably more additive rather than overlapping.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cool. All right, that's all for me.
Thank you, Molly.
Thank you.
Gotta go look at those dog videos.
Congratulations.
Very cute.
What kind of dog is it?
And if you're not on social,
German short hair pointer and an American bulldog.
Oh, whoa,
It's like 90 pounds of muscle. It's
Oh, my
cool.
God.
Hey. All right, Kevin, and Kevin or Jen, we couldn't necessarily see y'all. So do y'all have any questions for Molly?
No, excellent presentation. Jen, did you have anything?
I don't have any questions, but that was very helpful. Thank you.
Sure thing. Awesome. Kevin, back to you.
Excellent. Liz, do we have any announcements today?
I think the only announcement is that the next meeting is on March 10th. Here at the 46 Valley Street. And then a second announcement not on here, but I just want to let y'all know that I did send you advisory board orientation. So that does have some other information about the department if you do want to review that. You haven't had a chance to. And then I spoke with Kevin. We are going to send out prior to the meeting. So you're going to get an extra email next time that's going to say, do you have anything to add to the agenda prior to us sending you the agenda, if that makes sense. So probably about 2 weeks out, we'll ask for agenda additions, and a week out, 5 to 7 days, you'll receive here's the agenda for the following meeting along with the report out.
Liz,
Yes.
I think at the last meeting, we talked about the possibility of having a retreat to talk about
Yes.
our master plan.
Yes.
And you wanted to wait until the new people got on board.
Correct. I think we will put that on the agenda for the next meeting. I thought about that for this agenda, and I think the reason I held off was I felt like we needed to. My question for you is, do you want to have the retreat prior to the system, the master plan being adopted, or after it's adopted? So do you
However, we can be the most effective in getting the information out to people after.
Yeah, so I think my suggestion and what my thought was that once it's adopted, we'll have a board retreat. And I think this is where Allison is leaning to. She can chat in if I'm wrong, misspeaking. But I think we'll have a meeting on how to best support implementation. And I think that is one of the goals from the annual report as well. So that's kind of my idea. I know we've been speaking about it for over a year now. But I think, and I almost put it on the agenda to discuss today, like I said, but I think.
But you knew I'd bring it up.
Waiting until it's actually adopted, I think is the most effective. And we'll also have some meetings under our belts with everybody in the meeting, and kind of get that cadence going and see where we're going. Allison says agreed.
Thanks.
Well, excellent. I'm looking forward to the next meeting on March 10th, where I can see you all in person. If there's no further business, we will adjourn.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Allison.
See
y'all.
y'all.
Everyone have a good day.
Nice. Hi, Chip.
Bye, everyone.
I have a 1 o'clock, but I'm gonna leave these here if you guys wanna look through them.
Yeah.